Why does my car shake at highway speeds? Driving down the highway should feel smooth and steady. But if your car starts to shake once you hit highway speeds, it's more than a comfortable issue. It's a warning sign. Vibrations at 55, 65, 70, 75, 90, whatever it may be, usually means something is wrong with your tires, wheels, suspension, brakes, or drivetrain. And we're gonna dive into it a little bit. So vibrations become more noticeable at highway speeds for a lot of different reasons. At lower speeds, minor imperfections often go unnoticed, but at highway speeds, those small issues multiply. Think of spinning a coin. At slow speeds, you barely notice the flaws. Spinning it faster, and the wobble becomes clear. That's exactly what happens with tires, wheels, suspension, and steering. You can have your tires out of balance or tire imbalance. One of the most common culprits as tires wear, their weight distribution changes, and at higher speeds, this imbalance can cause noticeable shaking. Tire balancing solves this by adding small wheel weights at the right spots. So your steering wheel may shake at highway speeds, or your seat can vibrate. If it's in the front, your steering wheel will shake, and if it's in your seat, it's the rear tires that are causing it. So, and there's a lot of things that can go into tires. They can have flat spots, bulges, tread separations. They can have cupping from like worn shocks or struts. That it's like literally somebody took a spoon and started just taking out pieces of the tread. You can have incorrect tire pressure. You could be underinflated or overinflated. That can definitely affect the stability. You can have temperature changes that cause fluctuations in it. So definitely the tires need to be checked on a very, very ongoing basis. And then you can have, bent wheels. Potholes or curb impacts can bend wheels. And even a small bend that creates a wobble at freeway speeds. You can have wheel alignment issues if the wheels aren't aligned. Tires fight against each other instead of rolling straight. At highway speeds, misalignment can make the shaking worse. And the clues of a misalignment are, your car drifts left to right, steering wheel sits off center, you have uneven tire wear. Could be on any one of the four tires, depending on the vehicle. And then you got suspension and steering causes, like shock, struts, the bushings. And it literally, keeps the tire in contact with the ground. So when worn, vibrations travel into the steering wheel and the cabin. And you got loose steering components like tie rods, ball joints, rack bushings, and they wear over time. At 65 miles an hour, looseness in the steering becomes, even more noticeable, like a noticeable vibration. And then you've got brakes. Brakes can cause it. Warped rotors usually cause shaking during braking, but in severe cases, they can also create vibrations while driving down the road at highway speeds and slower. And you got sticking calipers. A sticking caliper drags one wheel, generates uneven braking force at highway speed shaking. And then you've got engine misfires. If spark plugs, coils, or injectors fail, the engine misfires. At higher speeds, this imbalance feels like vibration or hesitation. And then you can have drive shaft and or axle issues. Bent drive shafts or failing CV constant velocity joints cause severe vibrations that get worse at speed as the speed increases. And then you got environmental and road causes. Not every shake is mechanical. Rough pavement, grooved freeway surfaces, or debris stuck on the wheel can mimic vibration. But if the shaking is consistent, the issue is in your vehicle. And I've literally had people come in and say, I've got a vibration. And of course, so, the tire's not in perfect balance. So of course we rebalance them. And then they say, no, they still got a vibration. And then of course, we probably should have gotten way more curious the first time, but now we're definitely going to get more curious. And it's like, all right, when does it vibrate? Well, it only vibrates in this one section of road. It doesn't vibrate at any other time. It only vibrates in that one section of road. Well, that means it's that section of road that's causing your car to vibrate, not the car itself. So be totally aware of your environmental and road causes. And if it does it all the time, then it's the car. If it doesn't do it all the time, then it's probably not the car. And again, depending, and I'm talking about if it vibrates at 65 only in this one spot on the road, but it doesn't vibrate at 65 on other spots of the road, it's not the car. And then, you don't want to ignore any vibrations. They need to be, jumped on and taken care of, and a reputable automotive repair shop taking care of it. And you bring it in, and a good automotive repair shop is definitely going to check the tire pressure. They're going to inspect the tires themselves for bald spot, bulges, uneven tread. They're going to check the balance, probably need to rotate it at the same time, check the wheel alignment, check the suspension and steering, brake and rotors, drivetrain and engine, because they need to find out what's really going on. But whatever you do, don't ignore it. Ignoring it is not going to make the situation go away. It's going to amplify it. So whatever you do, don't ignore it. Stay safe, stay strong, and have a fantastic day.